I'm here to speak to you guys a bit about sales training and about my journey. A few years ago, when I was 19, I was in the depth of a major depression. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And I fell into sales by chance. Tell me, how many of you here are in sales today? How many of you would prefer to be doing something else? Most salespeople fall into sales by chance. Just think about it. When I was in school, I didn't think that I would be doing sales as a living, or for a living. I always thought that I'll be an accountant or a doctor. Some more?
Engineer,
whatever, all of the above. The day I decided that this was my profession, the day I decided that this is what I'm going to do, I started making money. I started really making money. And the sooner you decide or believe that sales, everything in life is sales related. Even if you become a doctor, you've got to sell yourself. How are you going to get clients? Everything in life is sales related. I always say that I'm watching all these products and all these wealth tools and whatever you can do. But if you don't have the sales skills to back this, or to back yourself, you're not going to do anything. You can't get anywhere. You ask a girl on a date, what do? Sell yourself. You go for a job interview, what do? What am I doing now? Whatever, if we speak up here. Everybody's selling. I actually had a guy ask me, I was doing an interview and he asked me about the importance of sales. And it's customer service is more important than selling. Guys, how can you say that? How do you get clients? First you got to do is sell. How are you going to get clients in all of these? You got to sell. Okay, so the importance of sales in everything we do in life, I would say it's right up there, right? I would say it's number one. If you can't sell you to yourself, how do you expect to sell a product to someone else? The first sale in life is to sell you to yourself. If you aren't sold on your importance, nobody else will be. I promise you. If you doubt yourself and you aren't sold on how important you are, especially when presenting all these products to people, remember, if any of you take up any of these offers, you're going to have to keep this with conviction. You're going to have to present to people. If you aren't sold on your importance and how important this product is, no one will buy it. Okay? In sales as in life, I always have a saying, it's like do the next best thing. I'm going to chat about 3 topics today, okay? I'm going to start with act as if, and then I'm going to go into good enough doesn't cut it, and then I'm going to go into attitude and ownership. Now, I told you already my story. Now, when I was 19 years old, my dad went bankrupt. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And I physically drove to, I saw an ad in the newspaper, call center sales agents, no experience required. Come on guys, be honest. Every job out there, when there's an ad for sales representatives, they say no experience required. Everything else, experience required. But it's almost as if you fall into sales, you don't need experience. So I was lucky, I fell in and I drove 5,000 Rand Mazda Major. I didn't have any petrol in the tank. And when I got to the call center, I literally just, it was fate. God's hand was on me that day. So as I drove there, it's like, and I stuck inside the parking area at the call center. Right there, I stopped and I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? Okay, I was wearing a Hugo Boss suit that my dad bought for me before he went bankrupt, because we grew up really wealthy, so I had nice clothes and all of the above. All my bags in my boots, and I was like, okay, this is it. What do I do now? I physically walked into the call center with my CV in my hand, asked to see the owner. He was this big Afrikaans guy from Johannesburg, very butch and very, hey meneer Hugo Boss, sê die regte plek. And I looked at him and I said, don't look at my suit, my dad bought this for me before I went bankrupt. I'm here to work, I need this job. And he looked at me and he actually said, you know what, come into my office and tell me your story. When I walked into his office, I broke down and cried. You're so emotionally drained and you don't know what you're going to do with your life. And I physically just started crying and I told him, listen, this is my story. I was a finalist in Mr. South Africa, I was modeling all over the place, and everything was just going well until 1920 when my dad lost everything. And he told me, I would give you the product today, because I told him I'm not going anywhere, I'm stuck outside, I'm going to sleep in my car, I need to work, I'm going to be living in my car until I earn some money to get back home. I don't know where I'm going, I'm here, I'll work for free, just let me work. And he actually took out the product. It was an antiretroviral 12-1 direct product that we sold for 29 Rand a month. And I had to learn this crappy product, and he told me that if you can make a sale today, you got the job. I went into the call center, learned the product, thought I'm going to do this thing, and 5 o'clock everybody was going home, and I still couldn't sell. And I kept on, he was sitting there just watching me, Daniel, just watching me. And at 10 o'clock that night, I made my first sale to a lady who said, call me Mama, because I couldn't pronounce her name. She's from the Eastern Cape. And today the title of my book, 12 years later, is actually called Mama, I Sold You. And at that moment, I thought to myself, I can do this. This is what I want to do. So everybody has a story of how they made their first sale. That is mine. I'm lucky that I sold Mama. And if I can find Mama, I promise I'd buy that lady a house and a car. Because if it wasn't for Mama, I wouldn't have been doing sales. After I made that sale, and I actually thought that this is what I can do. This is for me. The day I decided, that was, I said it earlier, that day I decided that this is what I was going to do. I'm going to become the best salesman in the country. I'm going to become the best sales speaker in the country. I'm going to become the best sales trainer in the country. When I started saying that, I started making money. And you guys need to decide today, before you can do any of this behind you, any of this, you've got to invest in your sales health. You have to invest in your sales health. Let me ask you something. Can you be a professional rugby player if you are not practicing 6 days a week? No.
I'm at the World Summit with Thaamir Moerat. Yeah, with the World Summit here, perfect presentation, spot on, and I could imagine myself like, you know, with his swag, the way he was presenting, like the way he sent the message across that, you know, I could also do that, but like, yeah, it was spot on and enlightening.
Think about it. We think it's a goofy technique or gimmick. You can just go out there and sell a product, sell any of these. It's not going to happen. I read 4 sales books a month, 1 sales book every week. I finish a sales book. I'm always equipping myself with knowledge in my industry. And before you can go out there and do any of this, you need to really equip yourself with sales training, sales courses, sales books, invest in your sales health. I want to tell you a story about good enough. I was in a road trip once, because whenever we speak at summits, I've got my book exhibitions, and I go with the whole entourage. I own 4 Cadillac vans, and we pack it up, and we just kind of like rock stars. So we were on a road trip driving down to Johannesburg, and I stopped at the takeaways, you know, as you at a garage about to eat, and there was an all-you-can-eat buffet. You know, it's like just pay 100 rand and you can eat whatever you want. And there was this big obese guy standing there. The 2 plates in his hands looked like little side plates, and he was just packing it on. And I was watching this guy, and I made a joke and I said, hey, you should watch your figure. And he looked at me and he said, you know what, round is a figure. So, we might laugh now, but unfortunately that's how a lot of people see their sales health as well. A lot of us see our sales health in the same light. We don't see it as pushing to the next level. Health experts suggest training 5 days a week to stay fit. If you invest the same amount of time in reading, listening to all your CDs, going to sales training courses, imagine what you can achieve. Everybody out there wants a dream. Come on, we had a well summit, right? You all here because you want to make money. Am I right? I mean, Connor, am I right? Is that why everyone's here? We all want to make money. But how many of us are willing to invest time and effort into really making money? Come on. You get the skeptics. I speak at seminars like this every week, and I see crowds of people, and you get those who do this and you do this. How many of you will leave here today and just say, wow, that guy was good, but you're not going to do anything about it? Wow, there's a lot of stuff I can do to make money, but I'm not going to do it. 70% of you will say no. 20% of you will think about it. Only 10% of you, that's a take-up, will actually do what you've been taught and take up whatever's been happening here. Those are the people who really want to make money, guys. And that is why you are here today. Okay? So challenge yourself. Because what is good enough? When the Springboks lose to the All Blacks by 1 point, it was a good game, right? We lost to the All Blacks at 1 point. Rubbish. It's not good enough. Good enough is consistently beating the All Blacks with 1 point. That is good enough. Bafana. We're losing. We win 1 game in every 5 games. Say, yeah, we're good. Is that good enough? Of course not. Good enough is beating the best opposition in the world every time. So when you leave here today, ask yourself, what is your good enough barometer? Everybody out there has a different good enough barometer. Everyone sitting here has a different skill and a different trait that he can apply to his good enough barometer. Someone might become the CEO of a company. The other one might just be in charge of a department. The other one might be the best salesperson. But that is his good enough barometer. So decide today, what is your good enough barometer? And always push it to the next level. Okay? You can start by acting as if. You guys heard the saying, act as if. Act as if? Act as if what? Act as if you are already the CEO of the company. Act as if you already have all the money in the world that you want. I promise you guys, you will attract it. But if you aren't sold on your importance, and you go into an interview, or go into your next sales presentation, people pick it up immediately. Before I had money, I was already acting like I had money. But I didn't. I was eating rolls and coffee. I was eating rolls in the first 3 months of work. You know, you don't have a salary, you don't know what to do. So, all you do is you need to fill your stomach, so you buy 6 rolls, because it's heavy, and coffee. That fills you. But I was already acting as if I'm there. That's what I want. That's what I want to do. Have class, show pride, and display character. That is 3 pointers that I always give people out there for sales. Have class, show pride, display character. If you do that, the sales process will take care of itself. Everything else takes care of itself. Attitude and ownership. There's a saying, everybody, you know, all these motivational speakers will talk about the right attitude and taking ownership and all that jazz. What is the right attitude? What is taking ownership? Anybody? What is having the right attitude? I don't even understand it myself. All I can say is, from what I've learned, and I've been doing this for 12 years, if you have the right attitude in everything you do in life, the way you go to work, the way you dress, the way you act, the way you speak to people, if you take ownership of everything you do, remember, you are in charge of whatever you do. Everybody in here has problems, right? You all have problems, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Who doesn't have problems? You know what, I actually asked that once in a hall of 4,000 people, and there was a guy who said he has no problems. And I actually called him upstage and he didn't have any problems. And asked him why. And it's because he said that he lives for his religion, he lives for God. So he didn't have any problems. But everyone else sitting here, come on, you have problems. Do you have problems? Your problems are the biggest in the world at the moment, right? For you it is. You have problems, right? Absolutely, you've got problems. Everybody has problems. In your mind, your problem is the biggest problem in the world. Be honest, I've got a lot of problems. I'm standing up here and I'm thinking about everything that I've got to do tomorrow and all the problems that I have. So is everybody else. As soon as you take ownership for that, and remember that whatever you do in life, you'll always have problems. But when you come to sell, when you come to work, when you come to get ready for what you need to do, change your attitude, forget about your problems, put it one side because it's always going to be there. Everybody has problems in the world. If you don't have problems, you aren't checking chances, you aren't doing anything right. So have the right attitude and take ownership for what you do, and everything else just falls into place. I'm just here to give you guys a bit of a presentation, how to present yourself and how to sell a bit out there. Guys, in the sales process, I always have a simple, and you're probably going to go out there and sell some of these products. I just want to quickly go, and I can do this. My full sales training course is 5 days, so I'm just going to go into the smaller things that I have. I always start by qualify, quantify, close. And I just want to touch on this quickly. What is qualify? What is quantify? What is close? How do you qualify a client? Anyone?
You know that you're speaking to the right person that's suited for your need and your product.
That's a textbook answer. You definitely read a lot of sales training books. You're speaking next, right? Well done. Guys, how do you qualify your client? You've got to make sure that whoever you're speaking to is the decision maker and that he qualifies for what you're selling. Isn't it? Okay, so it's simple. First thing in the process is qualify your client. Make sure that you're not wasting your time. In whatever you say, qualify your client. Make sure you're selling to the right client. How do you quantify? Okay, let's get an answer before I tell you the story. How do you quantify your product? You add value. Okay? How do you quantify? I always like to make this example. I train, you guys know Gabe Walmart? I train their sales reps as well. And I always tell them that I try and use the story because it's so cool the way they sell. If you come in and you look at, let's make an example, you want to buy that TV and that surround sound system. The sales rep will check you out, see exactly what you would look for, and he would qualify you. Now I would think, okay, cool, this guy's 26 years old, he probably plays PlayStation, He likes his music loud, blah, 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 and he will go in. So he will sum you up. As you come in, and you tell him what he wants, in that first 10 seconds, he's qualifying you. He's thinking, what would this guy like? How do I sell him? By the way he's dressed, by the way he acts, by the way he speaks, boom. So now what he does is he goes, oh cool, he starts quantifying the product. When you see something, the first thing you think of when you want to buy this, price, right? If you see something, the first thing you're doing in your mind is you're thinking to yourself, that is probably 10,000 Rand or 5,000 Rand. You go buy a car, what are you thinking? You see the car, first thing you think of is price, okay? So how do you quantify the product? You as a salesman, you have to make sure that you add value to this product. So what you will do is you will see the speakers and you would say, okay, it has digital surround sound, blah, blah, blah. The screen has 15-inch HD, blah, 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 blah. So every time you're giving him a benefit, or feature, sorry, of a product, the price increases. Okay? So he's trying to sell you on blah, 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 blah. He's quantifying the product. A car salesman, you go buy a Volkswagen. All he does is he tells you, okay, it's got 15-inch mags, it's got MP3 player, it's got Bluetooth, it's got ABS, it's got all that. So what is he doing? He's quantifying. He's just adding value. And every time he says something extra, if you think that it was 100,000 bucks, now you're walking and you're thinking, okay, fine, 105,000, 110,000, 112,000. By the time he gives you the price and he says it's 102,000, you're like, okay, cool, well done. I didn't think it would be that much. But what would have happened if you just qualified him and he told you the price? In his mind, he would have thought it's 100,000 bucks. If you tell him it's 102,000 Rand, oh damn, it's too much. But if you quantify your product and make the product sound like it's worth 150,000, by all these benefits, you obviously get to a level where the guy will feel that it's necessary to buy. And I've been listening to some of these wealth tools and how we can do it. And a lot of the guys speaking before me, and I wasn't here yesterday, they are selling, they are quantifying, right? Have you guys watched the previous speakers? They are quantifying. They're always telling you exactly what you can get. And when you guys sell, that is what you should do. Every product you sell up here, make sure that you're always quantifying it. Use visuals. I want to make an example. I ran an online media company for an online casino, a big one in the States for a while. And I was in charge of affiliate marketing. And this guy, he was winning. And one of my reps said, he was like, listen, this guy's just winning. Now remember, we want him to lose. We don't want this guy to win. And then we were at the point where we're like, okay, this guy needs to cash out now. And then I told him, start speaking to the guys who was Terence and I. We asked him what he likes, where he lives, all this jazz. And Terence actually said that he wants to buy a Ferrari and this is where he lives. And the first thing Roxy did was she started visualizing. She started telling him about, imagine driving, you need to cash out now, go buy that Ferrari. Imagine driving down the streets of Miami with your top down in your Ferrari and all the women looking at you. She was printing that picture. And I see before there's a lot of speakers, they're printing that picture. So when you sell these products, you've got to sell the wealth. You've got to sell that picture. People's got to see that if this is what we do, this is what we can get. Okay? The same with you guys. You've got to be sold on how important this is. Because if you take up any of these offers and you join any of these programs, surely you can get to that level. Put a picture up there. What do you want from life? Everybody wants something else from life, right? Everybody wants something else. Some people, you know the saying, money can't buy happiness? Is that true? Is that true? I think whoever, I don't know who wrote that. You know, you see money can't buy happiness and then it says author unknown. Who said that? The Dalai Lama or Gandhi or someone? Money can't buy happiness? Come on guys, it's a fact. We live in times where it's all about money. It's all about money. Money can solve all your problems. It's a fact. Because you can just pay to solve your problems. Be honest, why are we all here? To make money. Because we have problems. So surely that money will solve our problems. Otherwise we wouldn't be sitting here. Everything in life is about the ching-ching nowadays. It is. Unless you want to go become a monk somewhere, you go live in a monastery. Everything in life is money related. Everything in life is wealth related. Which means that everything in life is sales related. Do you guys see where I'm headed? The circle between wealth, entrepreneurship, sales, everything you want from life. How are you going to be getting that money? is to invest in your sales health. How are you going to get to the point where you have no problems? Okay, maybe you still have problems with your wife, or just give her $10,000. Go spoil yourself. It helps. It works. Come on, I see all the guys nodding their heads. Be honest, man. If your wife's giving you crap, and you had extra $10,000, and you tell her, listen, just don't bug me today. Here's a $10,000. Surely that money brought away your problem. I've done it before. Hey? He does it again, but if he has money, go. It's done. What do you want? Wealth, guys. Money. That's why we're here. It's a necessary evil. I'm not trying to say it. A lot of people criticize me for always talking about cash, but that's why we're here. We're at a wealth summit. We want to make money. Otherwise we wouldn't be here. Whoever tells you money is the root of all evil is lying. The lack of money is the root of all evil. Not having money is the root of all evil. Not having money. Okay? Everybody agrees. Everybody agrees. Okay? So guys, from now on, the first thing you do when you leave here, do yourself a favor. Before you can take up any of these, you got to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into and that you're going to be investing in your sales out. You can make a lot of money with these programs. It's not just a goofy technique or something that somebody's telling you might work. You can really make a lot of money if you put in the effort. It's like the previous speaker said, I heard him about, I think Conrad also mentioned it, about the money you invest in buying in cars and all that type of jazz. If you just invest a little bit of that money in something like this, where would you be today? Where would you be today? I myself was listening and I was thinking, damn, I've got 6 cars on HP at the moment. 6 bloody cars. Why do you need 6 cars? Hey? And then all of them are Cadillacs and they're imported from the States. Sweet little cars. Escalade, SRX, CTS, Cadillac Fanatic. If I just need one of them, or maybe 2, or maybe 3. Just get rid of the other 3 and do something like this. Or maybe 4 and you get rid of 2. But that's how we think. Guys, that's how we think. Because we are consumers. We are consumers. We want. Be honest, that's how we think. A lot of us are buying and living above our means. But we could have extra cash to invest in things like this. I'm a perfect example of that. Why the hell do I have 6 Cadillacs? And you know what the bloody salesman at Cadillac, you can only get him in Gauteng, by the way, he calls me every time. And he tells me, hey, there's another Cadillac that came in. The guy can't afford it anymore. Repo. Half price. It's got an auction tomorrow. No, but I've got enough. No, man, but this is a black one. You don't have a black one yet. The bugger sells me, and I'm a salesman, but then he sells me. I'm licking my lips. I'm licking my lips as he's selling me. And he says, you sell this lifestyle, and you're speaking at, you're the wolf of South Africa. You got to live this type of lifestyle. Come on, man, I'll give it to you for the weekend. And you know what he does? He ships a bloody car down, gives it to me for the weekend, I enjoy it. Do you think I want to take it back on Monday? No. Everybody already wins. Well done, another Cadillac for your free, whatever you're driving. And you end up just signing that bloody HP. And then you bound for another 5 years on another bloody vehicle. And we don't think twice, be honest. How many of us as a parent, you walk into a mall and you buy your shoes? You don't think twice to open an account. You open an account of Markhams, Truworths, Incas, all of us sitting here, be honest. You've got clothing accounts everywhere for clothes that you don't even need. If you can just halve that and use the money that you are spending on these types of programs instead of wasting it on crap. I told you guys already, everybody has a limit. I might save 20,000 Rand a month by not having by getting rid of 3 of my cars. One of you, somebody else might save 1,000 Rand a month by just cutting down. Somebody else 500. Everybody has a good enough barometer and a starting point. I'm going to take up some of these offers immediately. That's what I'm going to do. That's why I'm here. I didn't just come here to speak. I've got to make sure that this is what I'm going to do. The same with you guys. You know in your mind that you can cut down on something somewhere. Rather invest it in something worthwhile investing. You guys all obviously know Robert Kiyosaki, right? You all know Kiyosaki. You've all read, most of you read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Yes. What is the biggest lesson you've learned from Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Listen to your rich dad.
Sorry, come again?
Listen to your rich dad.
True? I haven't heard that one before. That's a good one. Listen to your rich dad. Who is your rich dad today? It's all the speakers out there. Conrad, are you the rich dad today? Guys, Conrad didn't pay me to sell him. Conrad didn't pay me to sell this. I swear to God, standing here today, no one paid me to sell or to say anything. I'm here because I truly care about entrepreneurship in South Africa. And then you can follow me at Talk to Sales, TOTALKSALES. We really do care and we really want to invest in people. I've got a reality show that's going to be live in a month's time with Tracy McGregor, where we're going to be finding the next best salesman in the country and the next best entrepreneur. This is what we do. I'm doing it for free. No one's paying me to do that. Because I care about South Africa and what people want to do. I've got a story. I also had nothing. And I built myself up to a point where I can semi-retire at 30. Well, I am sort of semi-retired at 32. I've got 8 companies running. I don't need to work. I do this for fun. I speak because I want to speak and I want to share my story. Okay? That's my idea.